So, extended commentary. So these pillars are, it's like a European classical museum. I often notice a lot of racial segregation when we came here for the first time. My dearest beloved friend, Shasti, who came from Indonesia, we'd set up what was called a Castle Fried Chicken crew with Jazz, who was a Filipino-German. And obviously Jollibee Fried Chicken's another huge fried chicken chain. It's also got branches in the Middle East. And we used to sit in this corner here, and there'd be private views. Literally the entire thing would be white, like, God, no, literally everyone but us. And we'd sit in this corner here. There was another Chinese interpreter. We were people from Asia, we were people of colour, and we would eat fried chicken on these steps. Actually, and Gozda, who was my assistant curator, Turkish assistant curator, she would have a dog, and a dog would actually come and chase after fried chicken. I was asked whether, because it's a lot of work here, this is Dan's work, I don't necessarily share his politics, and yeah, so it was saying it was overcrowded. I like this fact that this is 24 hours, it's a 24-hour museum, plus on top of that, so the Fanon thing 24 hours, this is 24 hours, and that's 24 hours. Literally anyone can come and see it at any point of the day. It's appeared in a lot of German press. It's been mostly positive. It was picked as a best of in one of the centrist newspapers. I think it's called SZ, and it was also picked best of in Der Spiegel, and also a Turkish popular news magazine, Millet or something, I don't know, and so that was flattering, and everyone can see it. And even people who don't like me, there's one German newspaper that said it was twisted, whatever the hell that means, and I think there's misunderstandings about what the Kaliphate is, and so a person who's not so educated would probably think of the false nation state territory of Daesh or ISIS in Iraq, which is a horrific entity, and disgraces the name of this. It's almost a false reclamation of the name. So I hope no one's stupid enough to actually make that. There obviously references the Ottomans. It's the Ottoman, which lasted for hundreds of years, and so is the thing on the back. A lot of people view the Ottoman territories as also oppressed, like Kurds, Armenians, the Armenian genocide, which is still campaigned to this day, and the Ottoman, as I said, is in a few other works, such as it's in Pina's work, and it's in Marwa's work. Marwa Hassan, sorry, I can't pronounce everyone's name, the Lebanese artist who did a fantastic video installation, He's Afraid of Ideology, and another long installation. And it's also some references Hazin, the refugee project from Australia, Safda Ahmed's work, in terms of the fear it invoked, even Ottoman coffee. The Ottomans were also seen as like sensual, so you'd get paintings like Delacroix and these Orientalist paintings, which, so ironically now Muslims are seen as austere and conservative compared to Western liberalism, but at the time it was different. The Ottomans are seen as like, depending what time, but you'd see paintings of these decadent harems and over sensual bodies and stuff like that. I left a number of books about the Ottomans. I think Osman's Dream was the big one I started. And I'm more interested in the Ottomans as an imaginary entity rather than a what really happened, in terms of, Turkish dramas now are so popular in like occupied Kashmir, Bangladesh. Like, you get this very poor underclass who are usually Bangladeshi, Pakistani. My group, Bangladesh, is the lowest socio-economic class, and they dream of having more power or having more riches or whatever, and that's what that hope of, and they also dream of unity. So if you go to a city like London where you see all these chicken shops, you know, like my friends are like, of all, you know, I've got a lot of white English converts. One of whom speaking, one of my friends even converted to Islam in a chicken shop. And they say the Shahada, La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. This text here, which is the Hadith, was translated very kindly by my curatorial invitee, Lara Kaldi from Ramallah. And so I usually put things to Google Translate and then do a bridge translation on top. And so she helped me with that one. The text language here, so even though it's quite simple text, like advertising slogan, it takes me a long time to actually arrive at it and get the wording just right. So fried chicken is, and then there's very different paces you can do. We do this via a phone app, but there's various speeds. Is in the heart of the believers. So you see the figure heart appearing again. The final fried chicken also refers to the heart, but the heart dying, or the heart associated with death. So final fried chicken, which you'll see in the Death Museum, which I'll comment on later, says fried chicken until your heart stops beating. So the heart is like some sort of collective heart for people, the whole Muslim world or whatever. It's also a slight mockery of the sort of stilted language of religion too, and so fried chicken is in the heart of believers. And part of the way we arrived at a lot of the language was through the improvisation of the video pieces. So there's the video piece called Birds of Paradise podcast, and one of these imaginary fake sheikhs played by the artist Abu Zaheda, Sheikh Masoom, the innocent sheikh. He talks about how fried chicken is in the heart of the believers. He's never actually eaten in one, this imaginary sheikh, and so it slightly came through there too. And then I think there's something intuitive about feeling the ummah, and I've read a lot of books about I read a book called I think Ummah and the Dalwa by Tamim al-Baghuti, who's a Palestinian Egyptian writer. I think was based in Berlin. I'll put these references in the comment section, or just ask me to. And another book I read was Ummah or Nationhood, which I borrowed off the Take curator Hassan Vadi. So like I don't, I've got two national passports, Bangladesh and British, but I don't. And Bangladeshi identity is very much a nation identity, which is like made quite recently in 1971, and I don't speak the language that well, and I don't know, it's weird, like we have 4 national days towards hate in Pakistan. It was once the world's largest Muslim country from 1947, where it broke away from British colonialism and became the world's largest Muslim country in Pakistan. And then it broke into 2 in 1971 in quite a bloody war with a very contested historiography and very contested narratives, which deaths that go very high up, plus the millions, and sometimes tens of thousands, depending which sources you read historically. And so, the world's largest Muslim country was also split into 2 as well. And Bangladesh was 55% of the population of Pakistan after a 9-month war in 1971. And since that day, we have like 4 national days towards hate in Pakistan. But I've never really I've sort of, I don't know how much I relate to that, especially someone growing up in London. Because if I see a Pakistani from humble backgrounds do quite well, to be honest, I feel quite happy. So one of my heroes is a Tekken player, Aslan Ash, and he came from nowhere, came from a humble background in Karachi. We also played Tekken together, all the various performers, like Abbas and I played Tekken together, and so did the other guy. And I beat him, of course, in Tekken. And he won this Tekken championship, and he goes down and he does sujood, which is what Muhammad Salah does, when you pray and bow down to God. To be honest, I feel quite happy that he won, and I feel it empowers me. And so I didn't grow up hating Pakistan, or I even worked, my main curatorial partner for from 2009 to about 2012 was also from Pakistan, and we did a project together around Allama Iqbal, who's the Pan-Islamic philosopher. Me and Safta Ahmed, the other artist in the Refugee Project, we also talk a lot about Pan-Islamic philosophy. So the idea of this identity that exists beyond nation states. I guess contemporary capitalism itself is that, it's globalization. I mean, does that really have a nation state identity? That's one thing to think about. So the Ummah is like one body, and there's some humor in that obviously fried chicken causes heart disease, cancer. It's not healthy food, is it? It's and then it's become the standard food of the black and brown working class and underclass within London. I mean, Sadiq Khan, who's our sort of neoliberal centre-left mayor, who was my MP of London, said there's too many chicken shops, and he equated them with gambling shops and strip malls and things which were regarded as like immoral but enjoyable, I guess. And I don't know, I love fried chicken, so my heart is with fried chicken. I don't know what my cholesterol level is. I actually don't drink alcohol, and I don't smoke, and I don't take drugs. I'm totally straight edge, so I could eat more fried chicken.